Good morning. Woke up on my hobo bench. I was secured my bike just here there with me. Yeah, it's been absolutely belting it down all night. Really heavy. But obviously underneath this shelter, I'm super covered, so it was quite relaxing. When the thunder went off and the lightning a little bit, it woke me up a couple of times, but I just went back to sleep really quickly. It seems really dark, but it's 7:15 at the minute. So I would normally get up, make a coffee and get riding, but I'm going to check out what the weather looks like today and if there's a bit of a break. I might set it out for a little bit because I've got plenty of time today. Probably only need to do 50 or 60 miles really, that all day, so max, well, I don't even need to do it, but that's what I kind of plan to do, 50, 60 miles. And that's probably about 5.5 hours riding, 5 hours of riding maybe. I know, probably less than that actually, probably about 4.5. It's quite flat from here, and if I have got that tailwind actually it could be a lot less. But as you might be able to hear, all the rain. That's a bit better with the light. Yeah, got a nice saddle on the head. I should shuffled up a little bit last night. Yeah, I think I'm just going to lie here for a half hour or so. Just check out the weather. Just gradually wake up. And then get up. Get a coffee on. We're up. There's the bed for the night. Very comfy boudoir. The sleeping bag was boiling last night. I had my Patagonia jacket on just in case it got a bit chilly, but my God, I forgot how warm that bag was because that is really right down to low. And it must have only been about 14, 15 degrees, something like that last night, 16 maybe. I don't even know, but it certainly wasn't cold. But I took the Patagonia jacket off, had the sleeping bag unzipped, and was still really quite warm. So I slept well. Woke up a couple of times because there was some thunder and lightning. But as I said, I'm underneath this shelter. It's a really big pitched roof. And yeah, completely bone dry underneath here. Just a little few dribbles at the edges where it's just blowing in slightly, but yeah, solid. Very nice night's sleep there. The rain seems to be dying off a little bit. It's still raining, but quite lightly. There is glimmers of blue sky here and there, but I'm not holding out to be a dry day. I haven't checked the weather report yet. I will in a second. But I'm going to get a coffee on and wake up properly now. Had a good stretch, feeling good. Hip doesn't feel too tight. So I've mentioned before that I've got quite a few problems from that previous accident I had, where I was hit off my bike and broke my pelvis, but seem to be having a bit of spine issues from that as well now, and nerve problems, so holding up okay. A bit tight, but yeah, like I said, I've stretched a little bit this morning, and today similar sort of mileage. Yesterday maybe a touch more. We'll see how the day goes, but I've got many more hours to do it because I haven't got the ferry ride to contend with, so we've got an extra 4 hours worth of riding to do, maybe 10 more miles, so I could walk that. But yeah, should be a nice tailwind later. Just got to get around the peninsula and up to Omaha Beach, and then I'm kind of following the coast all along. See how far we go. Might go to Oosterham,
Carentan. Not sure yet. There's no plan, there's no route planned. I did plan a route, but I didn't bother following it. I just rode yesterday, see where it took me. Just went in the right direction, saw a few signs for a couple of little bits and just thought, oh, I'll turn down there. Looked at a monument in the distance, just followed that road until it kind of followed it and things like that, and yeah, worked out rather well and found this a great spot to sleep in. There, let's get a coffee on. Here we are, all packed up. Everything on the bike, even taking the extra half bottle of water because I didn't actually have breakfast. So I'm going to shoot off now because unfortunately those toilets are locked where I stayed last night, which would have been incredibly handy. It'd been like having my own humble abode with facilities, but yeah, let's get on our way. It's been on and off raining all morning, like pour down for about 20 seconds and then nothing, and then sunshine and then clear, and then there's there. So I'm just going to get going. It's supposed to be on and off all day, and then about 2-3 o'clock apparently it's going to be a bit heavier. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, or a couple of minutes past 9 now, so get some good mileage in, see how we get going on the mileage today. Certainly going to go to Omaha Beach after I stop off in some sort of supermarket facilities that have toilets, and got to get some sort of lovely patisserie. Got to have a pastry in the morning, get a really nice coffee as well, charge everything back up, get my Anker power bank charged back up, because the GoPro's fully charged, phone's fully charged, but if I could top that Anker power bank right back up again, I'm good for another day again. Nice and simple, but yeah, let's get going on the road. Beautiful cycle path going down the side of the road. No one on it. Lovely and smooth tarmac. Just runs alongside the main road, which is great because it gets me to the town I want to get to for a bit of breakfast and a toilet stop, and no cars, although I haven't really seen that many cars today already. So everyone obviously sits on the motorways, or so the old roads that I've kind of gone along so far used to be like the original main road, but no one uses them because they just run alongside the motorway, so it's nice and safe, no congestion like in England, well certainly in Bournemouth anyway. And got about 3k now to do to Isle-sur-Mer, and I think there's a supermarket there, hoping for a patisserie or boulangerie, and definitely hoping for a toilet. So look at that, beautiful, ideal. It's not rained yet this morning since I've been riding either, but time will tell. There's lots of black clouds looming around, but they seem to be a little bit more inland, so the closer I'm getting to the coast the better. So hopefully it stays that way like yesterday. Dry, sunny and beautiful. It's 15 degrees, Moahu's saying. When I started it said 14, so last night probably got down to 14 minimum, maybe 13 at a pinch, but I certainly wasn't cold in my sleeping bag. It was, if anything, it's way overkill. Cool. Closed bags, haven't probably woken up yet. Let's get on to the next town and get some food. A grand old place, isn't it? Hotel de Ville. A funny feeling that's a federal building. Ukraine flag, French flag, UN flag. We're in Insigny-sur-Mer, I think it is. supermarket here. There's a supermarket here, just behind me over there, the Carrefour. So I'm going to pick up a couple of little supplies, but then there's a bar around the corner as well. So if their supermarket doesn't have toilets, I'll be going into there for a croque monsieur, probably a coffee, and then be on my way. But yeah, sun's out, blue skies, what we like to see. There's some grey ones in the distance through that gap there, but the wind, as it is, as you're looking, is coming straight back over my shoulder, so everything that's that way, the blue, is kind of coming across and to me, so let's hope it stays blue all day. Consume rapidly, no problem. Couple of tarts of tan and a little vanilla milkshake. Beautiful. Look big, but that is an old bomb crater. There's loads of them everywhere. It's littered with old bomb craters around here. This is Point Du Hoc, where the US Army captured and took over the German defence line here. Here's the artillery, where the German guns were. They got moved inland after America were looking to breach. Mesmerising just to even think that people were fighting a war up here. Unbelievable.
During the World War I, most of gas, and they have to go really close. That's the reason why the very first one that we're going to enter into.
lookout. A couple of steps up there to go. Look for the lookout. Whoa. That's a tiny space. It's a nice touch what they've done with their Union Jack because of the passing of the Queen yesterday. Quite a lot of them I'm seeing around the country are half-mast, so it's a big sign of respect. Right here on Omaha Beach at the minute, as you can see, Polish, Belgian, Canadian, American, French, Great British, Dutch, Norwegian and Denmark flags. Very emotional down on Omaha Beach. Really overwhelming of like just being here and see the beach in the background. Very flat, and just imagine what was going on here. Slowly that motorbike's just started up right behind me. Yeah, just the flat, really shallow beaches just going out. All the films and documentaries I've watched over the years. Oh, just feels weird being here. I'm glad I've come though. Such a vast expanse, and only imagine what was going on. Hundreds of thousands of people died. Sad, but the memorial, all the flags here, the Union Jack at half-mast. Yeah, I think it might be time to go and get a bit of lunch. Find somewhere nice to sit down, have an omelette or something, maybe a croque monsieur, as I am in France. Charge up the stuff and rest the legs for a bit. We've done 26 miles so far, and then we'll push on. It's only midday, just after midday, so probably will get 60, maybe 70 miles in today. Got a stonking tailwind if I stick to the coast, though. Very easy pedalling at certain parts, a few steep hills, but nothing too much. Let's see where this leads us. Should be an okay path, but we'll see. Definitely not okay. It's about 6 inches deep of sand, so I think we'll turn back, take the road back to the cemetery, and then go and have a look at all the monuments there. the American cemetery for lost soldiers and the memorial for them always. A lot bigger than I thought, and lots more graves and headstones, as you can see. Lots and lots all around. I'm pretty emotional actually the last few hours. It's really overwhelming of like the feeling, well, that I've got. I don't know if anybody else has, but just going to Point Du Hoc, Omaha Beach, coming here, and I've got lots of other big gold, Juno, and multiple other beaches to visit, and I'm sure I'll feel very similar to all of those as well, because it's scary actually what went on. Thousands of lives lost. Yeah. It's very, very calm here. Very calm. Ultra well kept. Everything is kept unbelievable standard. All the grass, cut the trees, everything. Looks like there's loads of gardeners out constantly, just out of the respect and keeping it looking how it should. It still just goes on and on and on, just endless graves and headstones and crosses. Totally overwhelmed. Arromanches and then at a landing of the D-Day as well, so you see all the concrete buildings out there, and all obviously in the distance you can see the defences all along the sea line, all along. Defence buildings everywhere. I think I'm going to stop here, have a bite to eat, recharge. I think there's a bit of rain following, so it would be a good time to stop. This will be the first bit of rain really I've had. I had 2 minutes the first day, but that was like a little sprinkling. That looks like a proper massive black cloud. So it's been following me the whole way, but I've had a bit of a tailwind, so I've been gunning it to get to here. And now, if I can, get some food and charge all the batteries up. Chill for about an hour, hour and a half maybe. Just soak at this now. The views are stunning, the fresh sea air and that air about the whole place again. Just things like seeing that on the beach, it's like just daunting thoughts really of what was back in the 40s. Yeah, let's go get in that little eatery and get out this rain, which is definitely coming now. It's starting to sprinkle. Just outside Kilosgear now. This is the English cemetery. They have lots all around which are like Canadian, Polish, Norwegian, French. Oh yeah. Doing a little charge up in a McDonald's. Seems that everywhere's just at closings. The lazy fuckers want to have a little nap. So I'm going to charge everything up in the McDonald's here. got my bike locked up outside so I can see it from here as well, so pretty safe. And yeah, get the phone charged up full, charge the GoPro, and then whack my anchor power bank on. That's about half full, but get it mostly done. And then yeah, get going. I'm going to search for a camp spot in here and then ride there, because I think we're about 55, 60 miles in, 60 miles in today, so as long as there's something within 10 miles, that's cool. So I'll probably spend about an hour, hour and a half here just chilling, stretch the legs out a little bit, and then we get going. Check back in after I've guzzled all this. Just up here at the Canadian Memorial now. This is a really well kept one with flower beds all through all of the headstones. Really nice touch as well. There's maple everywhere, which is obviously the tree and the leaf of the Canadian flag. But yeah, I'm just up in one of the towers. There's two towers here either side of the entrance. That's the other one. And you walk through to that side. Yeah, this is just a small little lookout. Seems pretty new. The staircase seems almost brand new, but very, as with all the other ones, very, very clean, very well kept, and just massive respect for all, obviously all the Canadian lives that have been lost amongst many, many other nations. Horrific times, but a thing of the past, thankfully. A few more miles now. Just press on. I've earmarked a little spot by a river, so I'm hoping that that's a good spot. I just looked on Google Maps, so I was going to get a campsite, but then I was like, I prefer to stay a bit more wild, like I did last night, kind of. There's great ground here to camp on, but out of respect, I would not camp on it, because there's really sheltered all behind there, behind the hedgerow, just here. Really flat spot, but out of respect, I just couldn't camp on there. So yeah, so I've earmarked a spot. It's about 3 miles away from here, and we're now into a massive block headwind because I'm working my way on the way back further south now, probably about 15 miles south of the coastline, and working my way back to Cherbourg. So now, so I've taken 2 days to get this far. Well, 1.5 days, because the first day was a ferry, and I've really got what is it now? It's Friday, so I've got Saturday, Sunday full days, and Monday is a half day to get back to the ferry. Luckily, well, I kind of planned that because I was like, well, if I can get here in 2, it gives me 2.5 to get back. Massive block headwind the whole way. Can ease off, well, not ease off, but make it slightly easier. Maybe do 35 every day instead of yesterday I did 45 and a half day, 60 odd today. So yeah, I'm going to press on because I think we've got probably 45 minutes before the sun sets. Really beautiful blue skies tonight, not much cloud, so there'll be plenty of light for at least an hour, hour and a half possibly. But yeah, let's press on and let's try and find a little wild spot. Hopefully, fingers crossed, for that spot by the river is good, because it's right on my route back and looks like a good spot. How flat it is, I have no clue. Could literally be a huge ramp down to the river, but if not, I'm just going to keep riding until I find any spot that's flat and just pitch. And then I have earmarked in about 12 miles there is actually a campsite that I could pitch at, more of a rustic one. Someone's got a chateau there, and just they allocate 3 spots to either motorhomes or tents, but completely flat land. I think it's only about €11 a night, and very well sheltered behind their massive stone walls. So that is last resort, but don't think I'll need to do that far. There'll be somewhere I can pitch. So let's go. Well, I've got to the place which I earmarked on the map. Wasn't quite what I expected though. It's miles better. I'm going to pitch my tent just there on the edge of the water. Looks really flat. Just here. Got some seats, sit on the edge of the water, can listen to that running overnight. That's a back road, so I should imagine later there might be some traffic, but it won't wake me up if it comes past in the middle of the night. But yeah, just listening to that little river just running over the brook. Yeah, stunning little spot. I'm really glad I had a little look around. I spent about half an hour having a look round. Yeah, lovely. Really pleased with this. I didn't even know. I literally just saw. I thought I was on the road that I'm coming down, which is actually this one here, and just going that way. And then just saw a few trees, and I thought, well, if that's flat enough, I'll be able to dip into that. And it turns out that, as with a lot of places are in France, is they have little tables here, concrete tables. They seem to have everywhere, like literally everywhere. Bins, so I can get rid of my rubbish, no problem. It looks like people had a couple of fires here. I won't be having a fire obviously, but yes, stunning little spot. Yeah, I'll have a good night's sleep tonight hopefully. And it's just on this little bit here, the wind is coming from behind there, so that's probably about 8 feet tall, that hedge. So where I'll be here just on the edge, I should be completely out the wind, but a good bit of movement around it, like not howling, because the wind is howling at the minute. That was a belter of a headwind. I was pedaling downhill. I was probably going down about a 5% hill, pedaling downhill hard and doing 19 miles an hour. So the other way I'd have probably been doing about 40, not even pedaling, just rolling. So let's hope that that calms by tomorrow. Before I came here, actually, it did actually look like the wind was going to change direction and head to a westerly. So if it does change tomorrow and get a headwind on the way back, that would be the ultimate ride. Yeah, let's get all this pitched up, get changed, and sit and chill for a bit, watch the sun go down, and then maybe stick some food on. Nice little tip from Jason, who I did the wild camp with Daily Outdoors. Ben, I couldn't think what I was going to do with the flap on the top. If I didn't want it on there, just to have a bit of ventilation, so I could just leave it open like that. But he suggested putting it through the top of the zip, and it goes through and secures in there perfectly. Obviously there's a tiny little gap there, but that's fine. Thanks very much, Jason. In the tent, eating the food. That chicken tikka rice was pretty nice. Can't remember if I've had that before. I've had one of those Wayfarer meals before when I won a competition through someone else on Instagram. I'm pretty sure it was that. It's pretty good. It's one of the lighter meals again, because I had some food what time is it? About 5 o'clock. About 6-7 miles away. 8-9 miles away probably. That was McDonald's while I was charging everything up. I do need to charge up again tomorrow because I forgot about my Wahoo bike computer, so that needed charging, so that's going to take a lot of the battery of my Anchor power bank. I've charged my phone. GoPro's up to 75%, so that should be good, possibly for all of tomorrow. Lights all done, everything, so yeah, really I just need to charge the power bank because that's pretty flat. Once that gets charged up, that should do me then to the end of the trip, because I've only got 2.5 days left, so I can, every time I stop off in the middle of the day for a bit of lunch, I can just give it a top up. As long as that power bank's got something in it, everything else can. So having an early night tonight. I think it's about 20 to 10. Literally everything done, washed up, everything put in bins, because there's a couple of bins just over by those benches which I pointed out earlier. And yeah, nice warm food in my belly. It's not cold at all. I think it's 16 degrees at the minute outside, and very similar to last night. I was very warm in the sleeping bag, so I'm gonna have it undone tonight again, and then if for whatever reason in the early hours of the morning it gets a little bit nippy, I'll just pull it over me. I definitely don't need to do it up because it's definitely not that cold. If it gets down to 13 degrees or something, that's really not cold at all. So I bid you farewell and good night, and I'll see you in the morning to most likely some beautiful sights on that river. Good night.